again. Shalom, grace and peace. Pagan Wednesday night, we know it's night 28 according to the scriptures. We gotta, like the scriptures say, how to say, Shabbat on the morrow.
Yeah.
Shabbat on the morrow. So, brothers and sisters, we're gonna start out in St. Luke chapter 6. We're gonna start out in the book of Luke, right? Yeah, you're gonna close that. We're gonna start out in the Gospel, St. Luke, right? You know the scriptures. You know the Bible is full of what? Mystery. And before we go there, speaking of, let's go to Colossians 1 and 26 first. Then we're gonna come back to Luke. Colossians 1 and 26. Because we agree, brothers and sisters, that the Holy Scriptures, the understanding of the Holy Scriptures is a mystery. Correct? Right? Just simply just us learning and finding out that who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, or Mashiach Yahushua, is, not was, is a so-called black man.
That's right.
That's a mystery right there.
Bro.
Especially if you ain't read it, because everywhere we go, Walmart, on TV, movies, what he look like? Not what the scriptures say.
Right.
Look like he's so-called friendly neighborhood white man.
Right.
When we read the scriptures, that's not what he looked like. He was saying, no, we don't know what he looked like. No, there's a description in the Bible of what he looked like. So that's a mystery, just touching on that. So let's go to Colossians chapter 1 and verse 26.
All right, that's the book of Colossians, chapter 1, verse 26.
Right.
Even the mystery which hath been hid from ages and from generations, but now is made manifest to his saints.
Right, all praise to the Most High, right? Even the mystery which has been hid from ages, right? We know the mystery because the Bible been around. It's been around, right? But the understanding hadn't been out, right? It been hidden from ages and from generations. We talking about what generations we talking about? Not only the whole world, but most importantly the children of Israel, right? But now it's made manifest to his saints. We know the saints are who? The children of Israel, the men of the Israelites. Right? Now it's made manifest to the saints. Now, because the Most High is what? He's opened up, he's waking up his chosen people. Like we like to say, the valley of dry bones has taken root. Would y'all agree? So, but now it's made manifest to his saints and to his people. And not only to the whole world, because the saints are doing what? Preaching the word. So now the whole earth is getting to know who the Bible's written to and what the true gospel is, which is the mystery. Right. So from there, let's go to Luke chapter 6. So we're going to be touching on mystery. One mystery that we're going to touch on tonight is what? The Most High's calendar. It's a mystery, man. It is a mystery. Because right now, they said Happy New Year. Right? And it's dead middle of winter. It's cold. We're not here in Florida. It's cold. So we're in the middle, and not only it's cold, but we're in the middle of a season. So how's New Year? How's new? You know? That's a mystery also. So let's go. St. Luke chapter 6 verse 1.
St. Luke chapter 6 verse 1. And it came to pass on the second Sabbath after the first that he went through the cornfields, and his disciples plucked the ears of corn and did eat, rubbing them in their hands.
Right. Now, that's just one precept right here. Now, we know we are precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. Right now, on this scripture, I'm touching on there a little. So this first part of the top of this verse, precept. Go ahead and read it again, bro.
And it came to pass on the second Sabbath after the first.
That's it right there. That's what we gonna deal with tonight, right? And it came to pass. You know that means what? It came to pass. It's future prophecy. What already happened on the what? Second Sabbath after the first. That's a mystery right there, brothers and sisters. That's a mystery. Because we know the Bible's a what? History book. Ain't no religious book. We know it's a history book that was written to one nation of people. It's connected to a bloodline. Alright? And it came to pass on the second Sabbath after the first. That's a mystery. Again, what is that talking about? Second Sabbath after the first. Now again, if this is a history book, we're reading Luke, which is the one, right? What part of history?
Say that again?
What part of history were in Luke? St. Luke was what part of the history?
Roman
so-called Christ history.
Right, Roman captivity. Right, in history, Roman captivity. Right. So we know what captivity you had. You had the Egyptians. Then what?
Egyptians, then the Babylonians.
Yeah, the Syrian
no, the
captivity.
Assyrians,
Yes.
right? Egyptians, then Assyrians,
Yep.
then the Babylonians,
Persian music.
Persian Medes,
Then the Greek.
Greek,
And then
And
the
Romans.
Romans, and America.
Right.
Right. So now so now you follow what I'm getting at. The second Sabbath after the first. This is in the Roman captivity. So how is the second Sabbath? Haven't they been keeping the Sabbath going all the way back to when they came out of Egypt?
Mm-hmm.
So how is it the second Sabbath during the Roman captivity?
Second Sabbath of the month.
Right. See that? So we're going to get some understanding. Right? So from there, let's go to Psalms chapter 90. And it came to pass on the second Sabbath after the first. That's a mystery, brothers and sisters. That is a mystery. We're going to get some understanding. Now, how was that so? Psalms chapter 90, verse 12.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 90, verse 12. So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom.
Right. It's very instrumental scripture to get to learn and to understand what the Most High's calendar. Right? So read that again, bro.
So teach us to number our days.
And that's what we need to do. Teach us to number our days. We just read. Keep in mind. Remember that first precept we read. The second Sabbath after the first. All right. So teach us to number our days that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. Right? So, what's the first day of the month? What is it called?
New moon.
New moon day. New moon means new month. Right? And what day is that?
First day.
The first day of the month. Right? Let's go get it. Let's go to Numbers chapter 28. Well, first up, Numbers 10 and 10. Numbers chapter 10, verse 10. Like we said, new moon day, we know is the first day of the month.
All right, this Numbers chapter 10, verse 10. Also, in the day of your gladness, and in your solemn days, and in the beginnings of your months,
Okay.
ye shall blow with the trumpets over your burnt offerings and over your sacrifices of your peace offerings, that they may be to you for a memorial before your God. I am the Lord your God.
All right. So he said, also in the day of your gladness, in your solemn days. Well, that's talking about a holy day, a feast day, right? In the what? Beginnings of your months. Right. So how many months are in a year? 12.
There's 12, yeah.
12 months. So that means how many days? I'm sorry. So how many new moon days is that?
12.
12 new moons. Now, are we absolutely sure that there's 12 months in a year? Because we've heard some brothers say 13 months.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah.
Are we absolutely sure?
Yeah.
Precept.
Finding it right now.
All right. Now I can show you one. Let's go to 1 Kings.
First Kings.
But 12 captives?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
1 Kings chapter 4 and verse 7.
First Kings, what?
4 and 7.
Right.
1 Kings chapter 4 verse 7. Just for proof. Again, we hear that 13 month leap year. Says who?
Right.
Says who? We need precepts in the scriptures. Ezekiel
That's right,
ain't got
man.
nothing to do with 13 months.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's right, man. That's right. Oh, most excellent Theophilus.
You're right.
That's talking my man of God. Right.
Ezekiel ain't got nothing to
13
do
months.
with it. Ain't got nothing to do with it. Ezekiel ain't got nothing to do with it. And then we're not going to Jasher or Enoch or Jubilees to get a precept.
Right.
You can't do that. You can't go to one of those books to get a precept. Talking about 13 months.
Right.
That's off.
And even in Jasher and stuff like that, don't even tell you 12 months. I mean, only tell you 12 months.
Yeah.
Enoch's the only one they goes, funny about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So on 1 Kings 4 and 7, just proving that how many months are in a year. Go ahead.
1 Kings chapter 4, verse 7. And Solomon had 12 officers over all Israel,
Right. 12 officers. Right. Go ahead.
which provided victuals for the king and his household.
Okay.
Each man his month and a year.
Hear that? Each what?
Each man his month and a year made provisions.
Right. Now, yeah, 12 officers, each man his month.
Right.
You get no simpler than that.
You say he had 13 in the leap year.
No. Ain't no leap year in the
Ain't none of
scriptures.
that garbage, man.
No. 12 months in the year. And also ain't no spring equinox. Where it tells us, what I'm saying is, we've heard 13 months and we heard when the spring equinox comes in. Where is that in here?
Nowhere.
Right.
Right. And Isaiah 66:23 says, new moon to new moon, Sabbath to Sabbath.
Right.
Ain't say spring equinox. So you just stop counting and wait for the spring equinox to come in? You just stop counting? We got to use wisdom, man. Right? So from there, we just read that 10 and 10, the beginnings of your months, right? Also, let's go to Numbers 28, verse 11.
All right.
Proving that new moon day, right? New moon day, and also new moon is a what? Feast day. Is it a working day?
Nope.
No.
Not at all. All right, yep. Numbers chapter 28, verse 11.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 28, verse 11. And in the beginnings of your months, ye shall offer a burnt offering unto the
You
Lord.
see that? Did you read that again?
And in the beginnings of your
In
months,
the beginnings of your months. What day is that? New moon day. Uh-huh.
ye shall offer a burnt o- you shall offer a Ye shall offer a burnt offering unto the Lord, 2 young bullocks and 1 ram, 7 lambs of the first year without spot.
All right, so we're talking about again the first day of the month, which is new moon day. All praise to the Most High. We got a new moon day coming up pretty soon, right? So in the beginning of the months, and by default, that's what we say. By default, new moon day is what day of the month?
First.
The
day.
first day of the month, right? So new moon day is the first day of the month. What day comes after that?
Second day.
Second day, right? Further prove that. Let's go to 1 Samuel. First Samuel chapter 20. And 20 in verse 24.
1 Samuel chapter 20, verse 24. So David hid himself in the field. And when the new moon was come, the king set him down to eat meat.
Now we're talking about the new moon. When the new moons come, right? New moon day, right? And what day is that again? Day 1, right? Jump down to verse 27.
Verse 27. And it came to pass on the morrow.
On the what?
On the morrow,
Which was the next day.
which was the second day of the month.
Which was what?
Which was the second day of the month.
Uh-huh.
That David's place was empty. And Saul said unto Jonathan his son, Wherefore cometh not the son of Jesse to me, neither yesterday nor today?
Right. So we get this is example right here. We got new moon day and we got the second day. Right? Like we touched on, Numbers 90 verse 12. So teach us to what? Number our days. But who named our days for us? No, who named them?
Who named them?
Right. Who gave us names? With the scripture saying teach us to number. We're reading second day.
Oh,
Who gave us
the
names? Huh? The heathen. Right? Gave us
Yeah.
names to do what? Like brother, you said earlier. To what? To confuse us. To throw us off. Right? To keep us off. But we understand again. So with that example, right, some of our brothers and sisters will assume that today was your pagan Wednesday. But we know it was day 28. I mean, according to the Bible, because the Heavenly Father gave us numbers. Right? So if the day is day 28, what's tomorrow?
29.
Right. Just that simple. right? So like we're reading here about second day of the month. So what day come after second day?
What day come after second day to third day?
Simple, right? We know how to count, right? So from there, man, let's go to let's get another example on that. Let's go to Numbers 29. We touched on this the other night. We can touch it again. Numbers chapter 29. Yeah, any questions? Feel free to raise your hand. Let's so we can build. Make sure we all soaking this in real good. All right, brothers and sisters. Numbers 29, verse 1.
Numbers 29, verse 1. And in the 7th month, on the first day of the month,
That's New Moon Day.
ye shall have an holy convocation.
Mm-hmm.
Ye shall do no servile work. It is a day of blowing the trumpets unto you.
Right, and that's also the day of blowing the trumpets. Right, and it's the 7th month, first day of the month, feast of blowing the trumpets. Right. Now you jump down to we touching on some numbers. Right, when you jump down to verse 17.
Right. Verse 17. And on the second day
Right.
of ye shall offer 12 young bullocks, 2 rams, 14 lambs of the first year without spot.
Right, and we understand that that's the second day. Just touching on these numbers again. Jump down to verse 20.
Verse 20. And on the third day 11 bullocks, 2 rams, 14 lambs of the first year without spot, without blemish.
Right, that's the third day. Jump down to verse 23.
Verse 23. And on the fourth day 10 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without blemish.
Right, that's the fourth day, brothers and sisters. Right, no Monday, no Tuesday, no Wednesday, no Thursday. Right, verse 26.
Verse 26. And on the fifth day 9 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without spot.
Right, that's the fifth day. Day 5. Go ahead, verse 29.
Verse 29. And on the sixth day 8 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without
And
blemish.
all we're seeing is numbers on the sixth day. Correct. Jump down to verse 31.
Verse 31, 32.
32. Right, my bad.
And on the seventh day 7 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without blemish.
Right, and on the 7th day. Right, so we gotta understand when we hear all we hearing is what? Numbers. Right, jump down to verse 35.
Verse 35. On the 8th day ye shall have a solemn assembly.
A what?
A solemn assembly.
What's that? That's a holy convocation. Go ahead.
Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Why?
Solemn assembly.
Right, it said solemn assembly is a holy convocation. Right, it says ye shall do no servile work therein on the 8th day. Why?
Tabernacles.
It's a Sabbath. It's a Sabbath.
Bingo. That's a Sabbath.
My bad.
It's a Sabbath. Right. Read verse 35 again.
On the 8th day ye shall have a solemn assembly.
And you see this 8th day every month. Every month. This is how you start out this is how you start out your month. Right? The first day is New Moon Day. Then you got 6 working days. Day 8, you shall have a solemn assembly. You shall do no work therein. Why? Because this will be considered what? The first Sabbath of the month. Keep in mind we read in Luke on the second Sabbath after the first. Right? So the first Sabbath is what? Day 8.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now go back to, we're touching on numbers here. Jump back to verse 7.
Numbers 29 verse 7. And ye shall have on the 10th day.
See that? That's another number right there. That's after day 9, right? Then on the 10th day, you're showing another number. On the 10th day, what?
And ye shall have on the 10th day of this 7th month in holy convocation. Ye shall afflict your souls. Ye shall not do any work therein.
Now understand, this is talking about the 7th month. Even though every month is the same when it comes to new moons and Sabbath, but the 7th month, the first day you got Feast of Blowing the Trumpets. Here, the 10th day is Day of Atonement. That's what this is right here we're reading. You shall do no work servile work therein on the 10th day of the 7th month, because that's the Day of Atonement, right? That goes back to Leviticus 23, all right? Now, jump down to verse 12.
Verse 12. And on the 15th day of the 7th month, you shall have an holy convocation.
Another day, another number, 15. They just touch on these numbers. Go ahead. You shall, 7th month, you shall have a holy convocation. Go ahead.
Ye shall do no servile work. And ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days.
Right, because that feast of 7 days during the 7th month is the Feast of Tabernacles. All right, the Feast of Tabernacles and the Feast of Unleavened Bread are from day 15 to day 22. That's the first month of Feast of Unleavened Bread, 7th month, Feast of Tabernacles. You had your hand up, sis?
Yeah, I just wanted to get clarity on when it numbers the 2 rams and the 14 lambs
Mm-hmm.
and the first year without blemish.
So what is that talking about? That's talking about animal sacrifice. Because of course back then we're in Numbers right now. Sacrifices before the Messiah came.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Because when it's saying the second day, the third day, it's talking about after the 15th. That's what it's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because when in the 7th month, because verse 12 is talking about the 15th day.
Right.
So then it goes through the days after the 15th day. You know what I'm saying? Verse 17, second day. You know what I'm saying? After the 15th. And the third day after the 15th, you know?
right.
Oh, so it's dealing with the
Yeah.
atonement and the offering. It's dealing with the
No, it's just dealing with the tabernacle. The Feast of
Tabernacles.
Tabernacles.
All
You're
right,
right.
okay.
That's right.
Right. But it's just showing the number order.
Okay,
All
got
praises.
it. Got
All
it.
praises. Good question. Good question. Anybody sending any questions? Y'all going? We all good? All right. So from there, let's go to. Because you touched on Ezekiel 46. Let's go to let's go to Ezekiel 46. Let's go there. Yeah, Ezekiel 46 and verse 1.
Ezekiel chapter 46, verse 1. Thus saith the Lord God, the gate of the inner court that looketh toward the east shall be shut the 6 working days.
Okay.
But on the Sabbath it shall be open. And in the day of the new moon it shall be open.
All right, you see that, brothers and sisters? We read that. Yeah, 6 working days. You got, but on the Sabbath it shall be open, and in the day of the new moon it shall be open. All right. So how many days total is in this verse?
8 days.
Y'all see that? You see that? Can you see it? You can see that, brother Mark? All praises. 6 working days, but on the Sabbath it shall be open, and in the day of the new moon it shall be open. We got to understand, now it's saying 6 working days, Sabbath, and then new moon, but that's not the order. Right? You use 6 working days first, and then Sabbath, then new moon. It's not in that order. But it's just explaining that about the temple. You know what I mean? The 6th working day, the temple, the gate's going to be shut. On the Sabbath and new moon, they're going to be open, meaning the feast days, they're open. But by default, we know new moon day is what? Day 1. Then you got your 6 working days, gates closed. And then you got day 8, Shabbat, gate open. Right? And then your next 6 working days. Right? So what will be your 6 working days after day 8?
15.
I mean, what's your 6 working days after day 8?
Okay.
9 through 14.
Say it again?
9 through 14.
Day 9 through day 14. Right. All praise to the Most High. Right? So when's your second Sabbath? Day what?
15.
Day 15. So you see that when we read Luke 6 and 1? And it came to pass on the second Sabbath after the first. So what's the second Sabbath?
The 15.
Day 15. That never changes. That's always going to be there. The second Sabbath, and anybody say, hey man, I'll be come visiting y'all on the second Sabbath. We all should know what time it is. But someone say, okay, third Sabbath. Day 22. All right? Further prove that. Let's go to 1 Chronicles 23. 1 Chronicles chapter 23, verse 31. I want to go into how the children of Israel leaving Egypt. Further proving the Most High's calendar is beautiful, right?
1 Chronicles chapter 23, verse 31.
Right.
And to offer burnt sacrifices unto the Lord in the Sabbaths In the new moons,
Notice it's saying got an S on the end of these. Sabbaths got an S, new moons got an S. Again, we already know this. How many new moons in a year? 12. Sabbaths and new moons. Go ahead.
and on the set feast by number, according to the order commanded unto them continually before the Lord.
Right. See, that's another. Just goes right along with the Psalms 90 verse 12. Right. Teach us to number our days. Right here it's telling us, right, and all and to offer all burnt sacrifices. We know again that was when we did animal sacrifice. We're not doing that, but the feast days still stand. Right. Same appointed time. Feast means what? Moedim in the Hebrew. Appointment. Right. In the Sabbaths, in the new moons, and on the set feast. Where can we find these set feasts?
Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy.
Right. All praise. It's specifically Leviticus chapter 23. But right, they all over the Moses writings, right? In the Sabbaths and the new moons and on the set feasts by number. That's the key right there, man. All the Most High's feast days are already what? Numbered. They're already numbered. We just got to do what? Line up with the Most High. We got to serve him at the what point in time? It's saying according to the order commanded unto them continually before the Lord. It's telling us right there. You see what I'm saying? This is the order commanded unto the Lord. Boom, for you to do, children of Israel. Okay, boom. All right? Straight, just like that. Now, from there, let's go to... I just said it too. I said we're going to go to... From here. Right, I got it. Let's go. Numbers chapter 33. Yep, Numbers 33. I was going to further prove, like I said, we touched on the Most High's calendar, touching on how the children of Israel, proving the Most High's calendar, how the children of Israel was leaving out of Egypt, right? Month to month, how they were operating and what they were using, like we just read, as the order commanded unto them continually, right? Numbers chapter 33, verse 1.
Numbers 33 and 1. These are the journeys of the children of Israel, which went forth out of the land of Egypt with their armies under the hand of Moses and Aaron.
Right. Jump down to verse 3.
Verse 3, and they departed from Ramses in the first month, on the 15th day of the first month.
You see that? We understand that in the history side. You know, the children of Israel left Egypt, right? In the first month, on the 15th day of the month. That's when they exited out of Egypt, right after Passover. Right? The 15th day, we know numbers. Keep that in mind. On the first month, go ahead.
On the morrow after the Passover.
And what day is the Passover? The 14th. So it says on the morrow after the Passover. What day is that again? It just said the 15th. Right. All praises. Go ahead.
The children of Israel went out with a high hand in the sight of all the Egyptians.
So now we know what day did the Egyptians, what day did the Israelites leave Egypt? Day 15 of the first month. Right? All praises. Boom. Now from there, let's go to Exodus chapter 16. They left on the 15th day of the first month, left out of Egypt. So let's see what they did on the second month. Exodus chapter 16 and verse 1.
Exodus chapter 16, verse 1. And they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came to the wilderness of Sin.
Okay, so they journeyed in the wilderness,
which is between Elim and Sinai.
Right.
On the 15th day of the second month.
When?
The 15th day of the second month. After their departing out of the land of Egypt.
So how did they know that it's the 15th day of the second month?
Full moon.
By the ordinance of the moon. That's the only way. Were they keeping the Egyptian calendar? They ain't have no calendar. They ain't have, you know what I'm saying? No, they ain't have nothing. Y'all sure about that? You see what I'm saying? See it? So on the second month, 15th day, there's only one way you could get that understanding, the ordinance in the sky. Right? That goes back to Genesis 1 and 14. Right? So to further proof, now, when you look at the pagan calendar, does day 15 line up? Does it come on the same day?
No.
Every month?
No.
It don't line up. That's 2 months in a row right there. It lined up though. So now let's see. Let's see if there was a third month. Let's go to Exodus 19. Exodus chapter 19, verse 1. So we read the first month when they left Egypt on the 15th day. First month, the 15th day. Then they stopped in the wilderness on the 15th day of the second month. Right? Now we're gonna read Exodus chapter 19 and verse 1.
Exodus chapter 19, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
In the third month,
When?
the third month,
Okay.
when the children of Israel were going forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day they came into, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai.
The same day on the third month. What day is that? Yep. Read it again. Exodus 19 and 1. Read it again.
In the third month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they to the wilderness of Sinai.
So it's at the same day. They part out of Egypt. But it's the third month.
Same day.
Same day. There you go.
There you go.
It's at the same day from the first month, second month, third month, same day. How could you do that if they're using a pagan calendar?
Right.
Gotta be or they're obeying the commandment of Genesis chapter 1 and 14. Right?
Right. That is right. You're right.
It is what it is. Now from there, let's go to we just proved that that's 3 months straight. Okay. Now from there, let's prove how many days are in a month.
Genesis chapter 7, verse 11.
There you go, brother. Let's go. Genesis chapter 7. We're going to get it. Teach us to number our days, man. So we're going to do what? Math. All right? Like your brother, reading comprehension and math, man. That's all we need, man. And you got to be born a Jew.
Yeah.
Right. You got to be born a Jew, and then you got to have your reading comprehension and your math, and you got to repent.
Ooh, yeah.
You have to repent. And what's that? That means renewing your mind, like that newborn babe the Messiah was talking about. That means what? Do away with everything, including the pagan calendar. We understand we're the land of our captivity. We got to work. We understand that we're going into a pagan Thursday, but we know according to the scriptures, day 29. All right. Genesis chapter 7, verse 11.
Genesis chapter 7, verse 11. In the 600th year of Noah's life.
Whew, hey, man, it'd be nice to live 600 years. We'd be in great shape. Huh?
Oh, praise.
Go ahead.
Right. In the second month, the 17th day of the month.
So we got to keep, brothers and sisters, write these down. We get the understanding of second month, 17th day. See, we're dealing with numbers. And this ain't talking about February 17th, see?
Right.
This is not what that's saying.
Right.
Right? Second month, 17th day of the month. Go ahead.
The same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were open.
Meaning what? It started raining on when? The second day. The second month on the 17th day. That's when it started raining. Jump over. Let's go to chapter 8, verse 2.
8, verse 2.
Right.
The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained.
Okay.
And the waters returned from off the earth continually after the end of the 150 days. The waters were abated.
So we see here that it rained how long? 150 days. That'd be something, but we had to deal with that right now, man. But the Father said he ain't gonna drown the earth no more, but next time he's gonna be with fire. Tighten up, Israel. right? 150 days it rained. That's another number to write down. 150. Go ahead, verse 4.
Verse 4. And the ark rested in the 7th month,
Okay.
on the 17th day of the month,
Mm-hmm.
upon the mountains of Ararat.
So now we see it stopped raining on what day? The 7th month, the 17th day. So the same day, 17th day. So it started raining on the 2nd month, 17th day, stopped 7th month, 17th day. So how many months is that?
5.
That's 5 months. Divided by how many days it rained?
150.
150. So you do that math.
30.
Every time.
Every time. That's that moon right there, right? 30 days. But that's one precept. Let's get another one.
Revelations 11.
You want to go there? Let's get it. Revelation chapter 11. I have to pull out your calculator for this one.
All right, I'm gonna turn mine on.
All right, man. We're going to start chapter 11, verse. You can start from the top. Just 3 verses. Start from the top.
Revelation chapter 11, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of the Most High, and the altar, and them that worship therein.
Okay.
But the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles. And the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months.
How many months?
42 months.
Brothers and sisters, 42 months. Write that down. That's a number. 42 months. Gentiles and the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months. Verse 3.
Verse 3, and I will give power unto my 2 witnesses.
Real quick, who are them 2 witnesses? Northern and southern kingdom of Israel. Go ahead.
And they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth.
Here we go. Now we got these numbers here. 42 months, right? And here it's saying 1,203 score. Understand, score means 20. It's 20 years is a score.
Right.
So 3 times 20 is 3 score. Like you see 2 score, you don't see 2 score. It'll be 3 score, 4 score, 5 score, 6 score, 7 score mostly. Right? So that's that whatever number times 20. Score is 20. So what is that right there? 1,203 scores. What?
200 is 30.
3 score.
3 score.
3
So
times 20.
I was looking at the math here. 10 is 60.
Right, all praises. So now we got 1,260 days divided by 42 months. Calculators. I know we ain't been in school in a while. Calculators. We got them on our phones. 1,260 days divided by 42 months.
30.
Oh, every time.
30 days.
Every time.
30 days a month.
Every single time.
Every single time. All right. We want to give you a couple more precepts too. Let's go to Numbers chapter 20. A couple more precepts on the proven 30 days in a month, right? Sometimes you got the mouth of 2, 3 witnesses. Sometimes you get the mouth of 5 witnesses, depending on what the topic is. Especially Israel. How many witnesses you got that the children of Israel are God's chosen people? For almost every prophet. Right, man. Beautiful. Numbers chapter 20 and verse 29. Again, still proving how many days are in a month, brother. In a month. And what's the root word of month?
Moon.
Precept.
Sirach 43.
All praises. Numbers chapter 20, verse 29.
Numbers chapter 20, verse 29. It says, and when all the congregation saw that Aaron was dead,
So Aaron deceased,
they mourned for Aaron 30 days.
How long?
30 days. Even all the house of Israel.
So understand it. The congregation of Israel mourned for Aaron 30 days. Right? So from there, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 34. So that was Aaron. Let's read about what about Moses when Moses passed. Deuteronomy chapter 34 and verse 8. Because the context again is, the topic is about, right, how many days are in a month, right? But the part right here going into detail is mourning. How long do you mourn? We just seen 30 days, so we're going to read about Moses right here in Deuteronomy 34 and 8.
Deuteronomy 34 and 8. And the children of Israel wept for Moses in the plains of Moab 30 days.
Okay.
So the days of weeping and mourning for Moses were ended.
So we got another 30 days right here. So now we're going to get one more account on mourning. Deuteronomy 21. Deuteronomy 21. And this one has a little more in it, but it's based on mourning. Remember, that's the context, mourning. So,
and she's the heathen.
Right. All right, so we're gonna start at Deuteronomy 21. We got to read down a little bit to get the context. Deuteronomy 21 verse 10.
Mm-hmm. Deuteronomy 21 verse 10.
Right.
When thou goest forth to war against the enemies,
See, that's the point.
Against thine enemies.
Right. That's the point. Going to war against them. Are we going to war against enemies? No, not physically. No, we know it's spiritual battle, but this was during the time when serious battle. Go ahead.
And the Lord thy God hath delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive,
right?
And seest among the captives a beautiful woman,
a heathen,
and hast desired unto her,
right?
That thou wouldest have her to thy wife,
right? During the time of war, it's a heathen. Go ahead.
Then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails.
Right. This is the law because we're talking about a heathen woman in war. All right, brothers. Then they ain't got nothing to do with us right now. Right. We're just touching on mourning and getting an understanding of how many days are in a month. Man, go ahead.
And she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off of her.
Right.
And shall remain in thine house. And bewail her father and her mother.
And do what?
And bewail her father and mother.
Right.
A full month.
See, bewailing meaning what? Like mourning, weeping. Bewail her father and mother. Because again, captivity. They done got killed off. And now this is just where you're at. But the bottom line is mourning. They bewail her father and mother. How long?
A full month.
Go ahead.
And after that thou shalt go in unto her and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife.
So the point is, mourning, 30 days. That's in the law. And that also helps us understand how long a month is. 30 days. A full month. All right? So all praise to the Most High, man. So with that, now we know New Moon Day. The first day of the month. You got the first Sabbath, day 8, second Sabbath, 15, third Sabbath, 22, fourth Sabbath, 29. So how many Sabbaths in a month? 4.
She tried to whisper it. You had it right.
All praise. Yeah. All praise to the Most High, man. So we got how many Sabbaths every month?
4.
Every moon? 4. So how many holy convocations every month? Guaranteed. 5. You got a new moon day and 4 Sabbaths. That's 5 holy convocations every single month, man. That's beautiful. 5, so 5 times 12 every month. That's 60 holy convocations, man. Our people going crazy about Christmas.
We should see each
and
other
happy
5
Thanksgiving.
times a month.
Huh?
We should see each other at least 5 times a month.
See that?
Yeah.
Why? Because the Heavenly Father said so. They appointed time. They feast days, man.
That's how you avoid sin, by making sure you and your brothers and keep you in check.
Man, they supposed to be shook, man. Cause 5 days out of the month, man. Everybody's hitting them horns. Woo! On them days, man, they be like, damn, they done woke back up. They done woke back up. Well, anytime now, we finna be destroyed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's supposed to be like that, man.
Yeah. We know that's what we working on, man. That's why I'm saying we're just gonna cast these seeds. Because we got one thing I can say real quick since you said that. Let's go to Titus 3 and 3. Then we go into Leviticus 23. Let's go to Titus 3 and 3 because this applies to every last one of us sitting in this room, man. Titus chapter 3 verse 3. Titus after 1st and 2nd Timothy.
So small, you keep missing it.
Yeah. Titus is a small book, man. That's remembered by the T's. Thessalonians, Timothy, Titus. That's how I, you know what I'm saying? That's how I got it, bro. Straight up. But I won't forget now. You know? Yep. Titus chapter 3, verse 3. Go ahead, bro.
All right, Titus 2 and 3. For we ourselves were sometimes foolish, disobedient, deceived, serving diverse lusts and pleasures, living in malice and envy, hateful and hating one another.
Right. Now, see that? That's what this is a precept, brothers and sisters, that we can share with some of our other brothers and sisters, that because we didn't always know. You know, notice like when you're trying to share the truth or share something, you know, according to the scriptures, some of our brothers or people that we're trying to read, they don't understand. We didn't know this all of our lives, man. We just learned this, you know, a few years or some ago, some just a little bit longer than others, but we didn't know this. Right? So for we ourselves were sometimes foolish, disobedient, deceived. Understand it also, when we came into the knowledge of the truth, I'm sure we all thought what Saturday was the Sabbath. We all did. You got your hands up, brother? Go ahead.
I was just going to say that'd be beautiful to put on a shirt.
Titus 3 and 3?
Titus 3 and 3.
Right.
Because they really think we know everything just because we out here trying to help.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't think about it, the only way we going to be able to help or share some light, we had to be there.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
There's no way. How are you going to how are you going to teach someone to not be an alcoholic no more if you weren't one?
Exactly.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna witness to you. The fact is, when I met you, I was wearing Z-seats. You was like, nah, brother, you got to put some fringes on. And
All praise to the Most High.
That's when I first met him. He's like, and he showed me the precepts all around. I'm like, huh, that's ain't all around.
Right.
So-
Right. All praise to the Most High, man. But see, that's what I'm saying. We didn't know. Now you think it was a time I didn't know nothing about no fringes. I had to get some understanding. You had Jesus, I have nothing. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? We didn't know. That's why I'm just talking this topic. Like, we didn't know the Most High's calendar. That's why we, understanding that waking up as Israel really should be taught is how to keep our feast days. Just like we were taught Deuteronomy 28, how to identify who the Israelites are, we should be taught how to keep the Most High days also. We shouldn't have learned this later on. This should be taught, right? This is the understanding of the Bible. Again, because we know when is Passover? Springtime. Right? So we got to keep that thought. Right? So that's why we come here all the time. Let's go to Leviticus 23. We ourselves were sometimes foolish, disobedient, deceived, man. We got to understand that, man. So that's why we taught brothers and sisters now. We had to take the medicine, right? So now you got to take the medicine. Most High, no respect of persons. We all got to get in line. So we let our brothers and sisters know, hey man, you gotta let go of the pagan calendar. We gotta repent. Right. All the way. We can't hold on to nothing. We gotta let it go, man. But we know some of our, brothers and sisters, but we can't get in our feelings or take anything personal, man. We know that Saturday is a stronghold, and we take it. Our people take it personal, man. We understand. A lot of us, I got you, bro. We've how I want to say, centered our whole lives around, like the work, people have centered their lives around that day, and you realize, like, hold up, now you got to repent. Just like everything else. You got to repent. We thought we were American. We thought we had these dames on us. Now we realize that we're the chosen people, so what? You got to repent. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. You got to convert your soul, man. Go ahead, bro.
Back to the calendar topic.
All right.
Today, quote unquote, is my pagan birthday, and people are actually getting upset that I don't respond to them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Or respond.
how you gonna respond? This is supposed to be my day.
Right.
Now, obviously, it's not anymore, but how you get upset? That's
Right.
because they so.
That witchcraft.
Oh,
That's
man.
that
It's
witchcraft.
terrible. And there's family members who already know I'm in the truth.
Right.
I ain't responded to y'all about the past 7 years.
You see what I'm saying?
Keep going.
You just gonna keep trying, yeah.
Because you just so wicked.
Right.
You gonna conform to what I say, and then curse me out when I don't.
Yeah.
And think I'm supposed to feel some type of way.
Our people say something
Right.
else. I had my pagan birthday was pagan Sunday that just passed, right?
Right.
And this the thing, when my brother talking about, like, wait a second now. Like today would be what? January 22nd. I'm January 19th. But now that we understand the calendar, was that really our birthday?
Hell no.
You see that?
Right.
Wrap your mind around that one.
Right.
The day that you think it was your birthday, well, it ain't according to the scriptures.
Right.
Because we know this pagan January is the 11th month according to the Bible.
Right. Yes, sir.
So when really that day, they've been adding days and, you know what I'm saying, leap years, and that's why we really don't know what year it is.
Right.
You know, so we gotta, hearken into the word. That's why that's a deep mystery. That's why I want to touch on that Luke 6:1, man. Second Sabbath after the first, bro. That's beautiful to be able to understand exactly what that's talking about, man.
That is true.
All right. So yeah, Leviticus 23, man. Let's just touch on these feast days. Because it was like the point I want to remember that I was touching on is you got a new moon and 4 Sabbaths. So that's 5 holy convocations every month, guaranteed. Beautiful, man. Leviticus 23 verse 1.
Leviticus 23 verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feast of the Lord.
Concerning the appointed times, appointments. Go ahead.
Which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my
He
feasts.
said again, these are my feet. These are my appointments, Israel. These are my appointments. So we tell my brother, these are we gotta. It's like, hey, Dad, Mom said come in the house, street lights on. You know what I'm saying? So we let our brother, hey, we gotta repent, we gotta come back, Most High. We got an appointment coming up. All right, go ahead, verse 3.
Verse 3. 6 days shall work be done. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings.
All praise to the Most High, man. So when you read that, go ahead and read verse 3 again. The top.
6 days shall work be done.
Right there. See that right there? That's like the word you use, I think you said it too. Witchcraft. Right? We know some witchcraft right there in that first top of that verse 3 right there. 6 days shall work be done.
Witchcraft.
Yeah, witchcraft is in that
You
word.
said it's witchcraft in this verse.
6 days shall work be done. There's witchcraft in that. What do we think when we were brothers and sisters when they see 6 days shall work be done? What they think that means?
Oh, it's witchcraft in their thoughts,
Right.
Not in this.
No.
Okay.
That's
The way you said it just blows.
I'm glad y'all corrected me, man, because I don't want y'all thinking, no, what the hell is Brother Amos talking about? Yeah. Beautiful. All praises, though, no problem.
If
But
nobody want to work 6 days, yeah, that's what you're saying.
right, but 6 days shall work be done. We're automatically programmed what they put in front of us. We think we think that's that right there, that's Sunday through Friday right there. That's what we are, but it don't say that. We'll read it again. What it say?
6 days.
That's what it say. It says 6 days. Right? I like to ask this question. So if we today, but even right now, how do you know what day it is right now? Like we went outside earlier. Can you tell? Does it say? Is you know what I mean? How do we know what day it is?
Observing the moon.
Right. But I mean, other than that, that's right. But other than that, I'm saying, how do we know what day it is? You don't know. I mean, by looking out your window, right? Didn't last night look like tonight? I'm saying, other than the moon. What I'm saying, we know days just are days and days and nights and days and nights. So we don't know what. That's what I'm just showing where it's saying 6 days shall work be done. So a day is a day.
Oh, okay.
We got to know where these 6 days come from. See where I'm getting at? We got to know where do we get these 6 days. 6 days shall work be done. Starting where? Where's our starting point, right?
The first day.
Which is the new moon, right? But I'm just, just getting us to meditate and think about this part right here. 6 days shall work be done. We got to know, we got to have some instruction on how we get that, how do we start that. And understanding we know new moon day. But it's not here, though. It ain't telling you right here. That's why we got to do what? Study to show ourselves approved. We read about new moon day in Numbers. But it ain't listed right here. Gotta study, man. Right? So 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath, right? After the new moon. But it ain't, like the brother say, the Bible ain't no postcard. See, brothers and sisters, it ain't no postcard, just got everything listed out for you. No. It's this thick. It's got a bunch of pages. You gotta repent, study, and sincerity and truth. And be willing to take all the information in, not pick and choose what we want to deal with. Right? Go ahead, verse 4.
Verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord.
Oh, real quick, I'm sorry. I want to say, now, notice we're reading from verse 1. It said, these are the feasts, appointed times, this whole chapter, Leviticus 23, right? Okay, now, The first feast was listed was which one? Verse 3.
Verse 3, the Sabbath.
That's the first feast that was listed. In this, why is it listed? Why is it the first feast that's listed here? Because it's how many
4.
times a month?
4.
You got 4 Sabbaths every month. It's the most frequent feast day. And not to mention, it's the 4th commandment. Right? After you say, no other gods before me, right? Thou shalt no other gods before me, not the Lord thy God name in vain. What's the one after that?
Have no other gods before me.
And that you shouldn't bow down and serve
No
them.
other gods, right? No other images, and then bam, Sabbath. All right? But you're saying right here, the Sabbath is the most frequent of all of our feast days. So 4 Sabbaths a month, right? And it's 12 months. 4 times 12.
52. Wait. My math is bad.
60.
Yep.
4 times 12.
60.
No.
That's-
No.
40, 56.
Wait, 4 times?
52.
No, it's 58, I'm sure. No,
No, minus 12.
48.
60 minus 12.
Wait,
Remember 5 times 12 is
I'm
60.
about 4.
So minus 12 because it's 12 new moons. So 60 minus 12, 48.
48.
48, I had to do it backwards. Because you know what I'm saying? 5 holy convocations times 12, that's 60. Minus 12.
I didn't get it. I ain't understand
Yeah, I
that
didn't
one.
get it. Okay,
You said
I'm gonna say it
14
again.
times something.
No.
Then you said
I'm gonna
60
say it.
minus
Check
12.
it out. I'm gonna say it again. 5 holy convocations every month, right? It's
Right.
new moon and 4 Sabbaths. So 5 times how many months? 12. That's what? 60.
60.
How many new moon days?
12.
12. So 60 minus 12.
Okay, 60 minus 12.
That's how I got to 40. I had to count. I had to do it backwards. So 48 Sabbaths a year. Sorry. 48 Sabbaths a year.
Right.
All praise to the Most High, man. Go ahead, verse 4.
Verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons.
In their seasons. I love that. In their seasons. These are the feast appointments of the Lord, even holy convocations, right? Which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. Right? So, what appoints the seasons?
Genesis 1:14.
Oh, praise. Let's get it, sis. The precept. Genesis 1:14. What appoints the seasons? Because what season are we in right now? Winter. And according to the scriptures, winter is the last season, not the first. Genesis 1:14.
Book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 14. And God said, let there be lights.
And who said?
And God said,
Not these brothers over here.
let there be lights in the firmament of heaven
Okay.
to divide the day from the night,
Right.
and let them be for signs
Okay.
and for seasons
That's seasons.
and for days and years.
Yeah, days and years. I teach us to what? Number our days and years. You know, it would be beautiful if we could find out exactly biblically what year it is, but that's too far fetched, right? That's far for us to reach. But for signs and seasons and for days and years, right? So for them days, we know how to count our days. You know, each day has a what number, right? So all praise, beautiful precepts. Also, now let's go to Psalms 104. Touch on that seasons. Seasons. Psalms 104, I think it's 19.
Yes, 19.
Yep. All praise. Psalms 104, verse 19.
Right, this is the book of Psalms 104, verse 19. He appointed the moon for seasons.
Yeah, it is right there. I mean, how can we break that down? It's just straight to the. He did what?
He appointed the moon for seasons.
Right.
The sun knoweth his going down.
The no, like how the brother read it. Sun knows he's going down. Meaning the sun just has that one duty. Bring light, you know what I'm saying? Daylight. And that's it. Sun up, sun down. It just gives light.
Yeah, the
And
sun
all
is
praises.
responsible for the hours, basically.
Right. There you go. All praise to the Most High, man. Because we know, the Most High's calendar. The sun, moon, and stars, that's the timepiece in the sky. That's the timepiece, man. So we'll ask, what was Moses using in the wilderness with the Israelites? What was Paul using to travel back to Jerusalem them 3 times a year? What was the Messiah using? You said second Sabbath after the first. Right? Second Sabbath after the first. So from there, let's I guess we can go back to Leviticus 23. All right, he appointed the moon for seasons. And we're familiar with Sirach 43. All right. Leviticus 23 verse 5.
All right. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month at even, it is the Lord's Passover.
Right, so we got another number here, right? 14th day of the first month at even. The first month is what? Is that talking about January 14th? Because if we're talking about January 14th, man, we missed the Passover, man. If this is talking about January 14th, we missed it, brothers and sisters. But we know that's not what it's talking about, right? 14th day of the first month at even is the Heavenly Father's Passover. That's the 14th day.
So in that case, in the pagan, that's March. In March, that's pagan.
Right. Well, not
Pagan month.
I mean the pagan.
Month.
Well, the first month of the biblical year is
Right.
pagan March. Right. The
Yeah.
first month of spring.
Right.
Correct. Spring, March, April, May are the 3 months of spring. March, April, and May. All right. Then you got summer would be what? June, July, August. That's summer. September, October, November. That's what? Fall. December, January, February. That's winter. Simple. It's simple. It is simple. But we gotta renew our minds. Gotta do that part. You know what I'm saying? We get the precepts and then we gotta start counting and numbering our days. After it's like you were saying, after 30, 60, 90 days, right? The Yahushua, bomb. Then it's like we just open up, right? All praise to the Most High, man. Now from there, let's go. Well, keep going. Verse 6.
Verse 6. And on the 15th day of the same month, it is the feast of unleavened bread.
So that's the next day. You got 14th at evening is the Passover. Then the next day, the 15th, is the Feast of Unleavened Bread. All right, go ahead.
Unto the Lord 7 days ye must eat unleavened bread.
So what the 7 days are those? That's from the 15th. You got 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 7, go ahead.
In the first day ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein.
That first day is the 15th. Because we're talking about the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Go ahead.
It's what? It's what? It's right, it is. But the Feast of Unleavened Bread falls on that Sabbath. So it's what?
Holy.
A high holy.
High holy.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a high holy. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, we got to keep that in mind. That once one of these feasts, these solemn days land on these Sabbaths, it's it's a high holy. Or like Feast of Blowing the Trumpets land on the new moon day, it's high holy.
Right. Beautiful, man. Just trying to see if I can find a piece of it. Go ahead, brother.
All right, you want me to keep reading?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord 7 days. And the 7th day is in holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein, which is day 22 of the first month. That last day of Feast of Unleavened Bread. Right, verse 9. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest, and he shall wave the sheaf before the Lord to be accepted for you on the morrow after the Sabbath. The priest shall wave it. A sheaf is like a sheaf of barley or wheat, right? Wheat, and the priest wave it before the Lord do his offering, right? and the offering for the children of Israel, right? And it says, let me read it again. And he shall wave the sheaf before the Lord to be accepted for you on the morrow after the Sabbath. The priest shall wave it after the Sabbath, morrow after the Sabbath of when? Right? Because we're still counting after that day 22. Right? Ain't that's what that's going in? Yeah, because we're finna go into first fruits. Pentecost. You got it?
Yeah, I'm coming right now. I just got this precept real quick. Now read where you at again.
Verse 11.
Right.
And he shall wave the sheaf before the Lord to be accepted for you on the morrow after the Sabbath. The priest shall wave it.
Now it says on the morrow after the Sabbath. Right. What day is this right here? On the morrow after that first Sabbath. What day is that?
23rd.
The first Sabbath?
No, it's saying right here.
7.
It said on the morrow after the Sabbath.
The 9th.
Now we're talking about what feast are we in right here? We're reading down through, you know what I'm saying? Feast of Unleavened Bread.
16.
There you go.
16.
16. It said the day after.
Yeah.
You see? It's all right, but you see what I'm saying? We're putting these numbers together. It ain't going to say on the 16th day.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We got to put that together. Now jump down to verse 15.
So the
Damn, I had that wrong. My bad. I've had to correct myself because I did say that was after day 22. I did say that. I said that because
No problem. Let's see. Okay, we getting it right.
I said that because that was verse 8. Verse 8 was day 22. It was said, in the 7th days, the Holy Convocation, you shall do no servile work therein. And then it says, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when you become into the land which I give you, and shall reap the harvest, then ye shall bring the sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest, and he shall wave the sheaf before the Lord to be accepted for you on the morrow after the Sabbath. The priest shall wave it. And ain't this talking about after the harvest coming? After the harvest, after they gather. That's what it's talking about. It's after, you know what I'm saying? That Sabbath, after they gather the harvest, you're going to wave the sheaf. You know what I'm saying? It says after when you become into the land. You know?
Okay, so he's saying this is after.
That's when they do the gathering, right? Right. After they gather the
So they gather. You saying the 23rd day?
No, I said that, but that was wrong.
But got you.
I had to correct myself.
All praise. Now with that same thought. Now you had a question, sis.
Yeah, because I want to make sure that the Feast of Unleavened Bread, that's the 15th day of the first month, correct?
Right.
Okay, so the Holy Convocation, because I was listening, and I heard the 22nd day of the first month.
That's the end of Feast of Unleavened Bread.
That's the
22nd,
end.
right. That's the third Sabbath, the end of Feast of Unleavened Bread. Correct. That's what we're going to read down. We can get, that's what I want to read down to verse, now let's jump down to verse 15, right.
Verse 15. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that ye brought the sheaf of the wave offering.
You see that? It's just telling us again. So it's talking about what that we read in verse 11.
Okay.
Day 16. Right? Go ahead.
7 Sabbaths shall be complete.
See, boom. So when you count, that's why you gotta understand this calendar, because Saturday you won't get it. So right here when it's saying 7, it says, okay, from that day, which is the 16th, right? That you brought the sheep all the way, 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. So when you count them 7 Sabbaths, because we know Sabbath is what? Day 8, day 15, day 22, and day 29. When you count 7 Sabbaths, you gotta jump off to that moon. You see what I'm saying? When you count them 7 Sabbaths, that puts you on day 8, the first Sabbath of the 3rd month. That's that. After 7 Sabbaths, you're at day 8, month 3.
You also got to use the new moons, to find out what the 7 Sabbaths were.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying. That's the one way you're gonna count the Sabbath. I'm saying you can't count Saturdays.
Instead of 7 months, you actually got 7 days, which makes another week. So instead of what, it's like a jubilee system.
Right, but what I'm saying is, what it's saying is 7 Sabbaths shall be complete, right? So, like you said, you gotta use the Most High's calendar to count these 7s. Well, that's what I'm saying. You can't count Saturdays.
No.
7 Saturdays, it ain't gonna match up.
Right.
That's the whole point. All praise bring that out. 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. That's going to land you on day 8 of the 3rd month.
Can you give me a visual, like on the board?
Yeah.
'Cause I
Boom.
just-
Okay. All praise. This math is one of my favorite. I didn't even know that math was my favorite till later on in life. So boom, here we go. Okay, you said day 16. That's on the morrow. Day 16 on the morrow, right? So it says 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. You got to remember. Just think this is the 1st month. That says 11, but we're in the 1st month, right?
Right.
7 Sabbaths. So here's 1, 2, right? Then we got to go to month 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now month 3.
It's
Day
the
8 of month 3.
Month 3.
That's your 7 Sabbaths.
That's the 7 Sabbath.
Right. We said 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. That's day 8 of the 3rd month. Right. Then it says after that. Now you jump. Now read verse 16.
Right. You can't.
Y'all good? Okay. I ain't trying to go fast at all.
And you can't just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you know what I'm saying? What he's trying to say, you just can't do it. Because you're going to have to run across your couple of the new moons. And from that new moon to that first Sabbath, it's 8 days, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to get a continual 7 all the way through, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's nothing.
Because you might run into the new moon, which is the first day.
You are going to run into that new moon, you know what I mean?
And so when you do, then what?
You just keep counting. You know what I'm saying? You keep counting your 1, 2, 3.
You count Sabbaths. You count Sabbaths.
I got it.
That's why I did it like that.
I'm just
I got it.
Well,
huh?
it balances it out because you got 7 new moons as well.
Right.
It balances it out.
Wow.
Praises.
So you're always gonna fall on Sabbath.
Always gonna fall on Sabbath, right? So we good? All right, boom.
Wow.
Go ahead. Verse
That's
16.
how. Well, okay,
No,
that's
you good.
how you know the new moon. Like from. Okay, I just got confused. Don't worry about it.
All right,
Yeah.
you good. You good. See? All right, verse 16. Now we understand. Day 8 of the 3rd month. We count the 7 Sabbaths. What we're counting right here is Pentecost, Feast of Weeks.
Okay, now
That
that
harvest.
makes sense.
This is
Okay.
this is how it's showing us how to. We did a class a while ago counting Pentecost. You got to scroll down. It's like 4 months ago, but it's in there. But no problem. Go ahead. Verse 16.
Verse 16. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath.
Now, what day is that? I gotta repeat. Remember, date we're at. Now that we counted 7 Sabbaths, we're at what? Day 8 of the 3rd month. Read that again.
Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath.
So what's tomorrow after the
Day
7th? Day 9. That's right there. That's day 9. Go ahead.
Shall ye number 50 days.
So you count 50 days after day 9.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50.
50.
Pentecost is day 29 of the 4th month. The last Sabbath of the 4th month is Pentecost. But they ain't tell us in here. You got to, what?
Count.
Teach us to what?
Numbers.
Number our days. Bam, there it is. So you can write that down. Pentecost is day 29 of the 4th month. That's Pentecost. It's a Sabbath. That's what? High Holy. So again, how did Paul know to Feast of Unleavened Bread, Pentecost, and Tabernacle, you got to go to Jerusalem? What are you going to use? Got to use the ordinance in the sky.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to get that.
Yeah.
You see that? That's the High Holy. Now, to touch on that High Holy, beautiful. I want to touch on that. John 19:31. This is the one I could not find Monday. Man, we couldn't find it, but all praises. There's no problem. It still is in there. Like the brothers, was that one? The Edomite said it's in there. It just having you remember that it's in there. I'll never forget that. What he was talking about ain't in there,
Right.
But it's in there.
Right.
Woo. John 19:31.
Book of John, chapter 19, verse 31. The Jews, therefore, because it was the preparation,
Okay.
that the body should not remain upon the cross on the Sabbath day.
Right. Why?
For that Sabbath day was an high day.
You see that? Because we talking about when the Messiah, we talking about that's Passover. So what day is after Passover? Passover's day what? 14. The next day is what? 15. And what day is that though? Feast of Unleavened Bread. So read on.
Besought Pilate and
No, my bad. On the cross on the Sabbath day for that what?
for that day was an high day.
For that Sabbath day.
For that Sabbath day was an high day.
That's what I'm trying to get at. See, that's what we're trying to bring out. That's the verse I was trying to get at to prove that it's a high day. High holy day when a feast day lands on a Sabbath. Right? So that Feast of Unleavened Bread, that day 15 also is the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So it's a high holy day. I hate to say regular holy day, you know what I'm saying? But a high holy is, again, Feast of Blowing the Trumpets was a new moon and Feast of Blowing the Trumpets, that first day of the 7th month. The Feast of Unleavened Bread, day 15 and 22. Feast of Tabernacles, day 15 and 22. And Pentecost, that's a Sabbath. Day 29 of the 4th month, that's a Sabbath. All right? All praises to the Most High, man. That's the scripture. Read verse 31 again, bro.
Verse 31, the Jews therefore, because it was the preparation, that the body should not remain upon the cross on the Sabbath day.
Why?
For that Sabbath day was an high day.
Right.
Besought Pilate that their legs might be broken and that they might be taken away.
The point is high holy. Just wanted to bring that out, man. High day. Now we understand exactly what a high day is. It gives us that understanding, right? All praise to the Most High. Maybe we go back to Leviticus. All praise to the Most High. We get ready to close up pretty soon. Any questions off the top of your head? Anybody? We get ready to close up in a few. Kind of, touched on as much as we can. We try not to, keep around an hour and a half. Some nights we done been here to 1 o'clock. Not class, but just, vibing. We done been here to 1:30 in the morning a few times. All right. So, boom, back to Leviticus. Unless you had something you want to touch, brother.
No.
Good. No questions, y'all? You good? Y'all good? Good, Mark? Sis?
What chopping?
Huh?
What chopping?
No, we went back to Leviticus coming through. I'm just asking if you had any questions, anything off the top of your head that, you good? Okay. You sis?
So in the Apocrypha, do you have an explanation in the Apocrypha?
Oh, what part? Like the moon? Or, yeah, so
Oh,
Sirach
yeah.
43.
Let's go over that.
Yeah,
man.
we can go. Let's go
Let's
to
go over
Sirach
that,
43.
man.
We could touch on both. We got Sirach 43 and 33. But definitely Sirach 43. Let's get it.
All right, man. Let's go over that Sirach 43, man.
Sirach 43 gives us, the breakdown of that ordinance. Sirach 43, verse 6. Sirach chapter 43, verse 6.
Sirach 43, verse 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season.
Yeah, see that word season again. Go ahead.
For a declaration of times and a sign of the world.
All praise, like the sister brought out Genesis 1:14, right? For a declaration of times. That's a part of that timepiece, the moon, right? And a sign of the world. We know that world is children of Israel. Go ahead.
From the moon is the sign of feast.
There's another key word. Because in Leviticus 23, it says seasons and feasts, right? Feasts and appointments, right? So from the moon is a sign of feast. Go ahead.
A light that decreaseth in her perfection.
So when is it perfect? Meaning full.
Fall on the 15th.
On the day 15. So it decreases in her perfection. Once it's perfect, 15, then we are waning.
Right.
Right? Go ahead. Verse 8.
Verse 8. The month is called after her name.
See, this is how we understand the root word of month. The root word of month is moon. Every time we see the word month or moon in the scriptures, it means the same thing like Jacob and Israel. Read that again.
The month is called after her name.
Right?
Right? Oh, and also, I'm sorry, I got to interject on that one too.
You good.
You know what I'm saying? That also means, you know what I'm saying? Because the month that is called after, the month is called after her name. It's also meaning like it's 30 phases to the moon. You know what I'm saying? Just like it's 30 days in a month, it's 30 moon phases. Right? Total. For real.
All praises.
Right.
All praises for bringing that out. Right. That means each day has, and each phase has a what? Day. Each day has a phase, which each day has a number. That's how we know. All praises. Go ahead.
The month is called after her name.
Right. And the first day of the month is what?
New moon.
New moon day. Means it's day 1. So this understands, read on.
Increasing wonderfully in her change.
So that it goes on through its month. So after new moon day is what? Day 2. Then you got a day 2 phase. Then 3 got a different phase. Then 4, 5, 6, all different phases. They will not look the same every day.
Right.
All praise. Go ahead.
Being an instrument of the armies above,
Right.
shining in the firmament of heaven.
In the firmament of heaven. That's what we say. We know them Edomites ain't laying on the moon. It's in the firmament. They ain't get through that firmament. They ain't telling the truth on what happened to them
Right.
astronauts that died.
Right. Right. Is they shining in the firmament, not up under, so they can land on it.
Right.
Right. In the firmament.
Right. One of them even did an interview talking about, can they look up there talking about, is the moon still up there? Like, yeah, it's still up there, but you can't see it with a telescope. I'm like, you guys, man, the gig is up, man.
They shot a rocket up there and they hit it.
Mhm.
Right down.
Right, man. That's why I was saying, whoever when that voyage years ago where the astronauts took off, they not going to tell us that they got stuck in the firmament and died. They ain't going to tell us that.
Yeah, they got this guy and all that stuff, faking line and stuff.
They ain't gonna tell us that, but hey, it's all good. We know. Them Heavenly Father told us. You can't touch the moon, man. You can't get up there. Like you said, the Chinese, what they said?
Oh yeah, they just said last year they said China just landed on the dark side of the moon. But I thought they had vehicles on the moon already, America. You know what I'm saying? They ain't ride to the dark side yet. All these years went by. You know what I mean? They just keep the lie going, man. They said last year China landed on the dark side and claimed it. You know what I'm saying?
And just trying to finesse
I say you gotta be kidding me, man. America's something else,
They
man.
just gonna keep the lie going as long as they can, man. You know, but hey, most of them know. Now we know according to the scripture, man, they on borrowed time, right? Because the Valley of Dry Bone has taken root. The Heavenly Father has poured His Spirit on the earth, man. They on borrowed time.
Yes, they are, boy. Because according to 2 Ninja 15, boy, it said they do want to be just like America, and that's how they want to be. They say they landed on the moon too.
Right.
Ooh, that is Moab. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Ooh, Asia, boy, they a trip, man.
Right.
That 2 Ninja 15, man. Y'all should check that out, man. That's heavy, man. Heavy last time end time prophecies, man.
End time prophecies, man, especially with them Arabs.
Right.
All praise to the Most High. So, all right, we good.
All
I guess
praise to the Most High, man.
we're gonna go ahead and close it. Let's close out with Alabaster.
Alabaster
man.
box.
Matthew 26, man. And then we gonna break bread.
Box.
Some fresh unleavened bread. Brother brought from some wine. You know what I'm saying? All praise to the Most High, man.
Right. All right, this Matthew 26, verse 6. Now when the Messiah was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat.
Right.
But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When the Messiah understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me you have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this, that this woman hath done, be told for a memorial of her.
All praise to the Most High, man. Every time we bring out the gospel, we try to remember. Sometimes we forget, man. But every time we bring out the gospel, which is good news. You know, the good news, good tidings, right? Children of Israel. God's chosen people. The Messiah has only been dealing with His people. But that's the gospel. And every time we bring it out, the Messiah command that we, remember this woman, man. So all praise to them, Father. All right, we'll get this bread and wine ready. Cut on over track. Cut on over track so we can vibe a little bit till we get this bread and wine in us, man. All praise to them, Father, man. Periscope, Shalom, grace and peace. Periscope follows. They get a little taste of our, bonus coverage music, man. You know what I'm saying?